Well, it's been a while since Brian and Rachel have been here on a Sunday morning. A couple of years ago, they were in town, but doing 3 different churches on Sunday morning. So they came up to us on a Friday night, and we had a nice dinner together and a program. This morning, we're glad that more of you will get to meet them, that some of you who haven't seen them before. And Brian and Rachel are going to come and share about what's going on with their family, what's going on with the ministry in Thailand. And so Brian, Rachel, whichever's coming first, join them.
Hello, everybody. It is good to be here. We're good. We just came from Parkwood Gardens, so we feel like we got to take a deep breath before we start. But we're so excited to share with everybody this morning what has been going on in our family and also in northern Thailand. So look at the picture of the family. There we go. Wonderful. So this is our family. There's 7 of us total. And when we first arrived in Thailand in 2016, we actually arrived with just 5 of us in our family. So God blessed us over almost the past 8 years. God has blessed us with 2 more children. And both of them were born in Chiang Rai, Thailand. So we just are thankful that we're even a bigger family than when we started. But we do want to say thank you, not only to Roseville, but to all the churches in the UB Canadian Conference for supporting our family over the years. And we hope that these updates are encouraging to you. So I want to start with this next picture here, which has some information. We'll do a quick review kind of our goals as missionaries in UB Global as a whole in Thailand. We have a focus right now to reach a specific ethnic group, and that ethnic group is the ethnic Northern Thai. And they're the majority group in Northern Thailand, highlighted in red there on the picture. And Chiang Rai province, where we serve, is the most northern province. You can see it's the bright red province listed there. So in northern Thailand as a whole, there's nearly 8 million ethnic Northern Thais. And Buddhism is their primary religion. And you can see among this group, only 0.2% consider themselves like adherent Christians, which could be Catholics or non-evangelical Christians. And then the evangelicals, 0.03%. So a very unreached group in northern Thailand. Now, as I was preparing some information about the people groups that we're reaching, if you look at Joshua Project, which is where I pulled this information, you can look at Thailand as a whole. And Thailand as a whole is around, I think, 73 million people. And when we looked at the stats about 7 years ago, we were looking at about 1% out of that 73 million people considered themselves Christian, adherent, non-evangelical. Of that, about 0.6% were evangelical Christians. When I looked at the information again recently, those numbers are up to nearly 2% for Christian adherent and about 1% for the evangelical. So even though those are small numbers, to see God working, to see the number of Christians multiply like that has been exciting to see in just over those last few years. Go to the next slide. So, what are we doing in Chiang Rai City? So there's Chiang Rai Province, we're in Chiang Rai City. We are working at the Good Soil Community Center. We started this community center back in 2019, right before COVID started. But we were able to open this community center and invite a lot of the children in the community to come in and do programming with us. We had been working with the children in the area prior to the opening of the center. So as early as 2017, we were starting to build relationships with the kids. We opened this community center, and today we continue on with kids programming inside with other activities. And when we were in 2019 opening the center, at that time, my family, myself and my wife and my children, we were the ones that were there on the field to start the programming. We had one other family from Honduras that was serving with us, Milton and Erica Pacheco. We opened the building. We actually had a Christmas party. and then they went back on their home assignment. So at the very early stages, it was just myself and my wife and some of my older daughters that would come in and help with a little bit of programming. So our prayer back in 2019 was, God, please send us workers to the field to help us. And so you can see in the next picture here, he has given us that. There's a picture of the team. And you can see we have a great mixture of both missionaries from UB Global and also local Thai staff that have come on board to help us. So to the right, you can see Milton and Erica Pacheco. They're from Honduras and have been on the field since 2017.
Raise your left hand when you say to the right.
Right. Yes. Left to the right. That guy right there, okay? So yeah, it's okay. I'm glad we're casual. Okay, good. So Milton and Erica Pacheco, they've been serving with us since 2017. They actually returned to Honduras it was about 2 years ago, and they had about a year process to finish up an adoption process, and they returned last year with their son Lucas. So it was wonderful to welcome them back and their son back as well. When they came back in July, they also brought Alex and Christina Nunez from Honduras as well, and they have 3 boys as well. So they came a year ago in July to join the team, and they've been working on learning the Thai language over the past year, and then also helping us at the center with some of the programming that I'll talk about here in a moment. In the back middle, that is our newest hire. He's a part-time staff, and his name is Ty. So it's easy for us to remember Ty, so his nickname. But he's been a joy to help with our new sports program that we've started to develop over the past year, and he also helps with the other activities that we do at the center. In front of him is John. John was our first staff member hired in 2020. He was actually hired right before COVID, and hired my first staff person, and then the country, everything shut down. And I was like, I just hired somebody, and I have nothing for him to do. But fortunately, he oversees a lot of the administrative aspects of things. He keeps my visa up to date. He does all the reporting to the foundation. And so Milton and I both have visas that he manages for us to give paperwork to the immigration officers. So we're very thankful for him. So he was training for that role while everything was closed. So God allowed him to continue to learn even though things were shut down. He also has a great heart for ministry and has been just a great addition to going out and talking to the families and getting to know our neighbors in the community. Next to him is Fa. Fa is also a full-time staff, and her focus right now is our children's program, and she does a great job teaching Bible and also instilling discipline with the children, because if it was myself trying to teach or even John and I trying to teach, the kids are just all over the place, but she knows how to handle them, and we're so thankful for that. She also helps with connections with leadership in the community, and also with home visits as well. And then finally, there on the end is Chloe. And Chloe, 2 years ago, went through an internship program. She was our first intern at the Good Soil Community Center. She spent a year with us. She learned Thai during that year and helped at the center with our English program. And she loved it so much that she started a certification program with Huntington University to learn to teach English. Spent 1 year raising support and returned last March as full-time staff, and she's planning on serving about 2 years with us. Go to the next slide, please. So why are we called the Good Soil Community Center? Well, as we were choosing the name and how we would talk about ourselves in the community, we wanted to kind of have an agricultural sense because it's a very agricultural area. And we thought about the parable of the sowers and the good soil that Jesus teaches about. And he says, but the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop yielding 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. And so that's our prayer at the Community Center, both the location and also the team that's serving there, is that God would use us as good soil, as sowers and also good soil, that as we sow seed to the neighbors and community around us, that many would fall upon the good soil and we would see God producing a crop among the Northern Thai Buddhists. Go to the next slide, please. So how do we do this ministry? The Good Soil Community Center, we focus mainly on relationships and serving the needs of those around us. So we find needs in the community. We find ways that we can help with those needs and meet them. That starts relationships and conversations about Jesus. And as we talk about Jesus and the good news, we're listening for those that are receptive, those that are open to wanting to know more about Jesus. And then we focus on discipleship in those individuals. In the next slide. In the last year, we've also, as not only our team on the field, but also UB Global in general, has put a focus on making disciples multiply, or seeing disciples multiply. So in addition to discipling individuals, we're coming along with a mindset to make disciples that go out and make disciples. So we want to see those that are coming to Christ also have the desire and passion to go and make disciples of their own in their own community and family. Next slide, please. So, one of the main things that we do is we go and we visit our neighbors and we build those relationships. Not everything is done inside the community center. And this really started about 2021 when COVID was more was scary in Thailand, at least from the society's standpoint. And so when we would invite people to come into the building, they would say, oh, no, thank you. We're not going to come in and be social inside a building. But we could go visit them. We could work with the leadership in the community and go visit them, and they welcomed us in if we would come to them. So that's continued over the years. And the lady in the upper left-hand corner there in the orange, she is the community leader in our community. It's an elected position in the community. So she's the one that's relaying government information and a lot of information to the community. So we have a really good relationship with her. And so it's just one way that we can see how God has given us favor in this community by just going and visiting, building those relationships. And so when we do that, if you can see on this next picture here, you can see they then open their homes and their lives to us. So we're able to pray for them. We're able to find out about their lives. Where are they struggling? And this gives us more and more opportunity to share more about Christ and the peace that Jesus brings. And that has allowed us over the last couple of years to be able to do special outreach projects to the community. And last Easter, we did a foot washing or feet washing activity in the community, and we have a video for that I'd like to share. Perfect.
Your name stands above
neighbor, you are our friend, and we want to show our service to you as an example of following what Jesus has done for us. So, may I wash your feet? I would love to bless.
Thank you very much, sir. You do that. I never people used to do that. Yeah, it's the first time you look in the face.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We would love to bless you and show.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see God has been opening doors in our community, giving us favor to go in and become part of the community. And that was over 50 homes that we visited, 50 individuals that we visited over that 4-day period. And you can see, if you go back or go, the one, okay, that's good, that's good. So we knew as a team that we are limited on like the time and people we can reach on a regular basis, and we're thankful for the 50 people, but we knew that in order to disciple those who were receiving Christ, we needed to spend more time with them. And not everyone is. Even though we have a relationship with a great relationship in the community, there are still those many that are rejecting or just not interested in the gospel, but we continue to pray and work with them. But we were able to identify about 5 families that were receptive to the gospel. And so I just want to take some time to share some of these stories of these 5. Actually, I've got 3 stories here to share with you. But the first story here is Mother Tien. And in Thai culture, it's very family-based, so everybody has like a title that goes along with their name. So it's very common to call somebody older sibling or younger sibling or mother or father, grandmother, great-grandmother. So Mother Tien is how we would refer to this lady here. And we met her about 3 years ago, and she has kidney disease and has dialysis 3 times a week. And so I remember that one of the first times we met with her, we asked if we could pray for her, and she said, yes, you may pray for me. Actually, my daughter-in-law's family is Christian, and so they pray for me often, so I know what that means, and I would welcome that. And so we would continue to meet with her over the years, and then recently, every Wednesday we meet with her. To actually have like a house church with her. And she has come to accept Christ over the years and actually has become a person of peace in the community. So on the next slide, there's a quick definition of, or an example of what a person of peace is. When it's in the New Testament, the person of peace is a person who opens the way for the gospel to enter one's social group or even their village. Jesus taught his disciples to search for a worthy person or persons of peace on entering a village. So whenever Jesus sent out his disciples or the 72 disciples to go into the communities, he would always say, take your peace with you and say, peace be upon this house. And if it's accepted, go to that house and stay with the house. And these are the person of peace that Jesus commands us to look for when we go into new communities. And so we've identified Mother Tien as a person of peace. And there, we have some examples of how we've identified that. The next slide. So these are 3 individuals that Mother Tien has impacted through her faith in Jesus and sharing that with her family and community. So in the upper left-hand corner is her sister-in-law. And her sister-in-law, recently, we visited her regularly. She started the conversation off by telling us that recently she had found a lump in her breast, and she was scared about that. She didn't know what that meant. And she was talking to her sister-in-law, Mother Tien, and Mother Tien was talking about the peace of Jesus and how she should come to know Jesus because of the peace that he has brought her life. And so this is Aunt In. She told us when we first went to visit her house, she said, Mother Tien has told me this, and I want to know this peace. I've started praying. I believe Jesus can give me this peace. And so we were just amazed because she was coming to us with this testimony that she had received from Mother Tien. And now we still continue to meet and work with her and help her to understand because right before we left, she actually had a mastectomy and was in good spirits, but was telling us about all her doctor's appointments she was going to. And she said, I pray to Jesus often, I pray to Buddha, I pray to this, so she still, it's very, very early in her understanding of who Jesus is. But Mother Tien is out witnessing to those around her of the peace that she's received from Jesus. In the bottom center, that's Great-Grandmother Gao. Great-Grandmother Gao is a neighbor to Mother Tien. And we would visit her often as well. One day she told John, our Thai staff, she said, John, I've had a dream. And in this dream there's a man, and this man was taking me to heaven. She said, John, who is this man? John, was it you that was taking me to heaven? And John said, no, it's not me, but I can help you understand who the man is that's going to take you to heaven. And Mother Tien, who's her neighbor, invited her to come and during the time that we share with her, and now she comes regularly to worship and learn about Jesus. And in the upper right-hand corner is Uncle Inpan. Uncle Inpan was a family friend of Mother Tien and her husband. And Mother Tien, after we visited her one day, we came downstairs, and her husband, who has not been receptive to receiving Christ, but is very kind and welcoming to us, had said, this is our family friend, Uncle Inpan, and Uncle Inpan has been suffering from cancer and had heard about your visits to Mother Tien and how she was receiving that. And he was interested. He wanted to know more about this Jesus. And so we started meeting with him, and over a few months, John and Milton played a key role in visiting and sharing the gospel with him. And about earlier this year, in probably January, Uncle Inban received Christ as his Savior, and then shortly after passed away from his cancer. So we can see how God is working in this community. We can see how he's using people like Mother Tien to start to spread the word in this community. And the next slide is another story of, this is Grandfather Moy. Grandfather Moy, we had 2 baptisms right before we came back to the United States and to visit Canada. And Grandfather Moy was one. He's an elderly man, wheelchair bound. He's blind, deaf in one ear. When we go visit him, we put the hearing aid in the other ear, and we share the gospel with him. And over the years, he has come to know Christ. And one of the early stories I remember is we were at a meal with a team that was visiting, and that their neighbors. And we were sharing a meal, and the story of Jesus about being the light of the world was shared. And Grandfather Moy, who was recently had lost his sight, was very interested in hearing about Jesus and being the light in the darkness. And so as we met with him over the last few years, he's come to refer to Jesus as the one that he calls on when he's scared at night, when he can't sleep. He focuses on Jesus when his mind races because he can't interact in other ways with his family. And so he has also put his faith in Jesus, and the next slide is the baptism that we had last month with him. And so our team was able to come together and celebrate with him as he expressed his faith in Christ. Yeah. And then number 2, if you go to the next slide, Grandmother Sa. Grandmother Sa is another individual we've met with for the past couple years. She is bedridden, and we go and visit her each week. She is such a joy to go and teach and to share the gospel with, because her excitement whenever we talk about Jesus, she always refers to Jesus as the one who protects her, the one who is giving her the peace in this life. And we decided a few months ago, we said, well, let's start talking about baptism and teaching her what Jesus commands us to do to be baptized when we believe. And she was so excited as soon as we told her, and she said, yes, I understand, I'm ready to be baptized. We said, well, we're going to make sure you understand and talk over the next few weeks. Every week she would say, yes, I understand, I'm ready. And so she always was so joyful in her relationship and the way that she loves Jesus. And so with the next slide, you can see at her house, we were able to baptize her as well. And so we've just been so blessed to see how God has, we've seen some fruit already in the first few years, and how God is still stirring and working within our community there in Chiang Rai. Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing to just watch, bear witness to. The next slide, please. So, I just want to touch on, again, our new focus as UB Global missionaries and our team in Thailand is we understand that our numbers are limited, and we're only going to be able to reach so many people in our community. But if we work on our focus, if we work on not only teaching people about Jesus and discipling individuals, if we're encouraging them to really take hold of what Jesus is showing in their lives and have that excitement to go and to share with others and give them the tools to also go and make disciples, that we can see multiplication happen instead of the addition. So we need your guys' prayers, because this, to some of us in our team, this is new. From a Thai background, from a Honduran background, even from a Western background, it's some of it's new to go out and to just really encourage people as they're learning about Christ. Go and share. And those who receive, continue to help them on their journey to know Christ better. So the next slide, please. So at the community center, what I just talked about was one activity that we do, which is community visits. Other activities we have are the children's program that I touched on a little bit. Monday through Friday, from about 3 o'clock to about 6 o'clock, we invite the children to come in. And currently we have about 20 to 30 kids that come each day. And we do a special activity just for like an hour in that time frame. We'll do English on Monday, Spanish on Tuesdays. We've started doing Bible on Wednesday, Bible stories with the kids. On Thursday, we do some kind of creative activity, so dance or songs or arts and crafts. And then on Friday, we start doing kids' church as well. And on the next slide, you can see like in the last 2 years, since we had recently been back or been in Thailand, we've really focused on developing the Bible classes at the community center. And even though kids know we learn from the Bible on Wednesday and we have another lesson on Friday, their parents know this as well, and they continue to send them to the center. And so that just shows how God has continued to open the hearts in the community and show favor to our team, that they consider us a safe place to send their kids, and that the value that they're receiving, but with the time with us, is worth sending them, even though perhaps in their background we're different. And our prayer is, as the kids find interest and understand who Jesus is, learning the stories that maybe we take for granted with our kids in Sunday school class, they're learning about these stories for the first time, that they will stick with them, and as they're going through life, we'll see those seeds that were planted bear fruit in the future. So we love our children at the community center. The next slide, please. Some ways that we also reach out to the community. You can see in the upper left-hand corner, the kids are up on stage. That is at the community gathering hall. So the community, whenever they have a meeting, they'll call everybody there. We had to ask the community leader, would it be possible for us to have our Christmas celebration at the community gathering hall? Because we were running out of space at the community center. And since we have a good relationship with them, they opened the hall to us, and we had nearly 300 people come and join us for Christmas this last year. So it was an amazing time, and we just continue to see how we can engage with the community and share Jesus through really just being neighbors to them. Other ways that we interact is the lower left-hand corner is we're giving away ice cream on Valentine's Day, so we try to give to the community that way. In the center is a field day, a sports day with the kids. We like to do in the upper right-hand corner, Children's Day in Thailand is a very big thing, and we work with other organizations like CEF, who specialize in child evangelism, and so we invited them to come in and give a lesson to the kids that come in that day. And then in the lower right-hand corner is Songkran, which is Thai New Year, and it's a big water fight for several days. We just splash water around, wear Hawaiian shirts, have fun. And so we had an activity with the kids to play water during the holiday. So next slide, please. And our newest activity is the football club. So our Honduran teammates came in, and Alex Nunez was a school teacher back in Honduras and a coach. And so as soon as he came in, he started finding places to play football and gather kids. And now we've got 20 to 30 children that come and meet multiple times a week to play football. Dads are wanting to be involved and coming to the practices. And so Alex and Milton have been working on forming a new activity where we can involve sports and have that opportunity to continue to build relationships, really with demographics that we're finding hard to reach with our current programming. So,
Is that with the round football?
yeah, I forget. I don't know. Canada, is it football or soccer? Still soccer. Okay, I got it. Okay. So soccer. Okay, it's soccer. It's soccer club. Okay, next slide. Okay, and a new thing that we started the last 2 years is with COVID going away, thankfully, we've been able to invite teams to come once again to the community center and participate with us. And I just encourage you as individuals or as a church, if you have the desire to come and visit us, contact UB Global. They've always got some trips planned to go. You can see in the upper left-hand corner is a team from Hong Kong. Part of our partnership is with UB Hong Kong churches, and they send a team at least once a year to us. And the picture in the upper right is one of our larger teams. About 14 people came on that trip. And then on the bottom, we had a small team of just 3 people, and then Steve Fish came with that team as well. So we love to work with small teams. We can work with large teams. So if God's laying it on your heart to join us, we'd invite you to come and see us in Thailand. The next slide. And you're like, what can I do? What would we do in Thailand? Well, some of the things that we've done, upper right-hand corner, we have activities with kids, either at the center or we go to local schools. On the left-hand corner, sometimes we have surprise requests from the community. They said, hey, we heard you had a team in. Will you come with us and help promote safety with prevention of dengue fever, mosquito-borne illnesses? So we join them to go around the community. And in the bottom, we go and we share meals with people in the community. We ask teams to share a story from the Bible, share a parable, and then we just have a discussion over food. So many things that people can do and help us with short-term teams. Next slide, please. And then another activity is the internship program that we have. We had Chloe, who 2 years ago served with us for a year, loved it so much, went back to the U.S., raised support, got some more education to help her teach English, and has recently come back. So we love Chloe, and she has been a great great example of what an intern could be at the center. And then on the right is Caleb. Caleb came and just spent a few months with us last year. He just came with a tourist visa, lived at the hotel across the street from the center, and would come in and help with us with our programming. Even though he didn't have the Thai language, he was able to communicate just well enough with the team, and the kids loved him. So plenty of opportunities. If you or you know someone who's interested in checking out or trying missions and want to see what's going on in Thailand, we encourage you to check out UB Global as well. Okay, next slide. And Rachel's up. Now the interesting stuff. No. Here you go. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to kind of stand off here to the side because if I go behind the pulpit, no one sees me. So I'm going to give kind of a rundown of what our family's been up to over the last several years. So we can go to the next slide. So a little bit of what I've been doing since we moved to Thailand in 2016. Our 3 older children have been attending Chiang Rai International Christian School. It was first set up as a homeschool co-op primarily to missionary families, and it has evolved into a full international school. So it is about 70 to 80% missionary families from various backgrounds, not just all from North America, and then the remaining percentage are the local Thai students. And they don't necessarily have to be Christians to come in and attend the school. Education is very important in Thai society, so the parents know the value of what is being taught at CRICS, and so they are willing to send their kids there, knowing that it is going to be taught from a biblical perspective and that there's Bible class and chapel every week. And it's just been great for me. I've been volunteering there because it is geared towards missionary families. So all of the teachers are missionaries themselves. They raise support and volunteer their time to teach our children while we go out and do ministry work. So they do offer a bit of a tuition discount if you volunteer as a parent. So I've been doing that for the last 8 school years, primarily in the library. This last school year, I had the opportunity to step into a slightly bigger role at the school. So I am now the assistant librarian. And that's been a wonderful way for me to reach more of the kids on campus. So I'm there 3 days a week, and I help out with our staff, our other volunteers, and then with our elementary classes, we have library class 1 day a week, so I am there to help that teacher with that or sub in when she can't be there. Then the next slide. So our family has grown quite a bit since we moved to Thailand, as Brian said. So I'm going to start with Mia. The last time we were able to visit Canada, she was about 6 months old. She's not so tiny anymore. She will be turning 3 next Sunday. So in 1 more week, I will not have a 2-year-old anymore, which is good and bad. But she is a larger-than-life personality. She was our biggest surprise while being on the field. We actually thought we were done having children. God said, no, you're not, and gave us this wonderful personality. She is a joy, but again, being 2 years old, she can be a bit of a handful. And being the baby, she can be a little spoiled. But we love watching her interact with our older kids and just what she brings into our family. And then we have Maddie, who we thought was going to be the baby of the family. She is 5, and she'll be heading into kindergarten this year, so that is a big transition for her. She's very excited to be at big school with her older siblings because she's grown up in and around campus this whole time, but she's also sad that she will not be able to go to the center with Dad anymore and see all of her best friends and do all of the home visits that she's been able to go on this last year. But we are excited to see what kindergarten holds for her and how she is going to adapt and just enjoy and embrace what school life is like. Then we have Lucy. She is 12 and is heading into the 6th grade. So she is our social butterfly. She's actually not home as much as some of us are. But that's what she loves it. She makes friends wherever she goes. In every city we visit, she's got a new best friend. And we love how God has created her personality to be so adaptable to wherever we're at. So some of the things that she's been able to do in school the last few years, besides hang out with her friends, is there at the bottom in her funny black wig. She was in the elementary school production of their play. She was a disco cactus. So that was fun. It was a video game type of Bible story. So that was one of the levels, was the desert. So she was disco cactus, and she stole the show. It was made just for her personality. She enjoys doing the science experiments and just being a fun almost teenager. Then we have CJ. He is 14 and is going to be transitioning into high school, into 9th grade. The campus is a K through 12 campus, so he doesn't have to leave campus to start high school. So we're all thankful for that we all get to be together still. He has enjoyed over the last several years joining the cross-country team at school, being involved with that. He's also done some of the drama productions. 2 school years ago, he was a pirate in The Pirate of Penzance, and he likes to do dress-up days with his classmates when that comes, be outside. But his absolute favorite thing to do is his coding class at school and working with computers. Then our biggest highlight and update is with Lily. She just graduated high school in May and will be staying in the U.S. when we head back in August. And she will be heading to Purdue University in Indiana, where she will be doing a double major in elementary education and special education. And so we're excited to see what's up next for her as she makes that transition into university life and away from us, but fortunately still close to extended family. But some of the highlights from her last few years here, besides graduating, she also is involved in cross country, so that's been fun watching her and CJ not only be siblings, but be teammates together and see how they encourage one another through that. She also does the drama productions for secondary, so she also was the lead in Pirates of Penzance, so she got to hang out with her brother yet again. But that was also fun to kind of see their different personalities work together in that and see how they did enjoy that time together outside of the house. She's been involved with prom and student council, choir, student leadership on campus. Besides student council, she was involved in the leadership training at campus. In that group picture up there, you can kind of see the diversity of the school itself. So that is her entire class. She is the only one from North America in your class. And then so she's got quite a wide range of classmates, and that's a good representation of the school as a whole. But yeah, she enjoys being social and also helping out around the house with her younger siblings and helping out at the community center as it's been allowed with her schedule at school. And that's kind of a wrap up with our family. There's we've grown by leaps and bounds since the last time, and we do want to say thank you so much for your continued prayer and support, because it allows us to do what we are doing in Thailand and watching our kids grow and learn and thrive in another country. So we just thank you so much for all of the support and care that you've given to our family.
Thank you. Put it back. Okay. Thank you very much.
Brian and Rachel for bringing us those updates, and great to hear what God is doing halfway around the world, and that we have a small part in that, and we support you with our prayers regularly and finances as well. So You don't have to do anything special in your giving, as that's part of our mission budget. The biggest part of our mission budget is supporting them. But thank you as you give to the church. Part of what you give goes there.